So between the age of 12 and 20, I did an awful lot of things very quickly.
Yeah, that's right.
So, and then
career.
after about maybe a month, 2 months after Live Peace in Toronto, John called, the Mal Evans, who was the Beatles' main roadie, he called me and said, John wants you to record in the studio. He's got this song he's written, but he has to record it today. He wants to release it next week. And I said, sure. So I put my drum kit in the car and went down to the studios, and we would cut the whole song in one day.
Yeah, John Lennon said, I wrote it in a breakfast, recorded it at the lunch, and released it at the dinner. John Lennon said about this instant karma.
It was, but that's why it was like instant record.
Ah, okay, instant karma.
Instant record. And there's a very funny thing happened, because at the end of the evening, John wanted more and more vocals on it to make it big. We all shine, all of that kind of stuff. And we could only do so much double tracking, and then the Mal Evans went out. He said, I'll see if I can find people to sing. And he went to a club that was closing the doors, and they were throwing people out, and all been drinking all night, and they all came in the studio, about 30, 40 people. And they were drunk, and they'd be drinking. We all sang, and that's where all that
amazing vocals.
Amazingly, they were in tune. It was just, we couldn't believe it. They were in tune.
That's the magic about John Lennon, maybe.
Yeah,
perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, very instant karma, instant music.
Instant music. And there was a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. One of the three of John Lennon's songs there.
Yeah.
So let's follow the Imagine album.
Yeah.
And George Harrison's All Things Must Pass. The first three.
Do you want the long answer or the short answer?
No.
It's like
how was the question is how was the environment after the breakup of the Beatles?
Well,
because
Imagine was very special because the combination of the type of people that were in the studio were very. It seemed to be a special kind of mix of people that just made it. Especially when you have a song like Imagine, because we heard John. We didn't even hear a demo. He just sat at the piano in the corner and played it. And
in the first take.
No. He gave us the lyrics, and he said, "I want everybody to read these lyrics before we record these songs." And then he had the lyrics for the whole of the album, the whole of the CD, and so everybody kind of read through the lyrics and said, "Wow, this is really great stuff," you know. And when we did Imagine, I think we only did 3 takes, and I think they used either the second or the third one. I'm not really sure about back then, but I think I remember that when we finished playing the backing track, everybody looked around and said, "I guess that was it." It was a special feeling.
And how do you feel have been playing in such a song? It's a huge success. It's a symbolic song. How do you feel about that?
It's a symbolic song, and it represents everything what John Lennon was thinking, what he was about in those days, and he just wanted peace in the world and trying to help by putting it into lyrics and music.
And your work with George Harrison.
Well, the reason George got involved, because George kept coming down to John's house while we were making Imagine. So we all would sit around the big long table and eat in the evening. And everybody would be talking to each other, and I got talking with George, he was one of the nicest people in the world. I mean, he was so, he wouldn't harm a fly, you know. And when it came to All Things Must Pass, he called me and he said, look, I'm doing solo album, I'd like to come to the studio. So for 3 weeks, we'd go to the studio pretty much every day. A whole group of people. It was like Eric Clapton and all of the Delaney and Bonnie band that Eric was playing with at that time. You remember he played with a band called Delaney and Bonnie?
No, I don't remember.
Well, that was who a lot of the people in the studio were from. We'll go online and check it out. But he used to just jam with them the whole time. So basically, he, you know, we all turn up every day and just pretty much we all turn up every day.
Well, a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
because it was a triple.
I think they had a credit on the album for 3 drummers, but I don't think any of the drummers can remember really which tracks they played on.
Jim Keltner. No, Jim Keltner was in
Jim Gordon.
Jim Gordon. Yeah, Giba. Can we invite Giba to join us here? Mr. Giba to join us in this talk?
Sure.
Yeah, great.
Okay, Giba want to ask you something about technical parts, okay. And I will talk about. Let's talk about the Yes Days.
Okay.
That's your life. That's your career.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, in every biography we saw about you, it said that you joined the Yes, playing the replacing another legendary drummer, Bill Bruford. And you supposedly learned the close to the edge material. It's not an easy stuff in 3 days.
Oh, close to the edge is easy.
It's easy.
Jesus Christ!
It wasn't in the beginning, but it got to be easy. But not so easy. It's technical parts basically Joe Anderson and Chris Garvey asked me to. At the time, I was playing with Joe Cocker. And we finished the tour in Europe, and then I got a call in Rome, Italy, and they said, come back to London. I said, well, I'm coming back anyway. He said, well, John Emerson and Chris Squire wanted to meet them, and they wanted to, join the band. I said, well, sure. I mean, Bill is a very much more jazz-oriented drummer, but I already had a band that I'd been in for quite a long time, which is my own band, a 7-piece band with 3 horn players that played a lot of kind of music that had some jazz influences in it. So, and a lot of time changes, and that's how I became interested in different time signatures. So, when I joined jazz, my mind was already in that kind of frame of mind of being able to adjust into 5 and 7 and stuff like that. But my whole point behind doing that was to do it, but make sure it was. It would make sure that when you played it, you made the band comfortable and made it sound like it was in 4/4, but it wasn't. So you could actually tap your foot to it, kind of thing. So it was like taking a mixture of playing a real solid groove and then kind of being able to do a real solid groove, but in a different time signature, but make it feel like it was 4/4. You can understand.
Yeah, of course.